6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister signed the condolence book at Iran's embassy in Islamabad today to honor the martyrs and injured Iranians in the Israeli aggression. Shehbaz Sharif has reiterated the government's commitment to enhance the role of national institutions dedicated to science, literature and culture. Pakistan assumed the presidency of the United Nations Security Council today for the current month. Pakistan and India exchanged the lists of prisoners in each other's custody today. The Indian forces martyred 5 Kashmiris in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir last month. Pakistan qualified for the semi-finals of the Asian Youth Girls Netball Championship, defeating the Maldives and South Korea today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif visited the Iranian embassy in Islamabad today and signed the condolence book to honor the martyrs and injured Iranians during the recent Israeli aggression against Iran. Shehbaz Sharif expressed his deepest condolences to the people and the government of Iran, while reaffirming Pakistan's sympathy and solidarity with Iran during this difficult time. While assuring the Iranian side of Pakistan's consistent and continued support, the Prime Minister also conveyed his good wishes and respects for the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and for President Dr. Masoud Pezeshkian. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has reiterated the government's strong commitment to preserve and enhance the role of the national institutions dedicated to science, literature, history, and culture. He was talking to the parliamentary party leader of the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz in the Senate, Senator Irfan Siddiqui, in Islamabad today, dispelling any speculation about the closure or merger under the ongoing right-sizing efforts. He said the government is not considering implementing any proposal to close or merge national institutions of scientific, literary, historical and cultural importance. The Prime Minister said the government would make these institutions more strong, effective and efficient. Irfan Siddiqui informed the Prime Minister about the concerns among intellectuals, writers, poets and artists across the country regarding the recommendations of the government's right-sizing committee to shut down or merge scholastic institutions. He also reminded Shehbaz Sharif that during ex-Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's previous tenure, special attention was given to these institutions and their performance was widely appreciated across all sectors of the society. The Minister for Planning and Development, Ehsan Iqbal, has emphasized on a unified and comprehensive national approach to tackle the alarming rise in diabetes cases across the country. Chairing the second meeting of the Steering Committee for the Prime Minister's Diabetes Prevention and Control Program in Islamabad today, he stressed that diabetes was not just a health issue but a national development challenge, as it was silently eating away at the country's population's health like termites. On the occasion, the Ministry of Health briefed the committee on a newly launched nationwide media campaign focusing on awareness, prevention, control and treatment. Pakistan is currently among the 3 countries where diabetes is spreading most rapidly. The Ministry of Maritime Affairs has unveiled a plan to expand the operational capacity of the Gwadar port by establishing additional shipping lines and launching a new ferry service connecting Pakistan with the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The announcement was made during a meeting chaired by the Federal Minister for Maritime Affairs, Mohammad Junaid Anwar Chaudhry, in Islamabad today. He said the initiative was part of the government's broader strategy to enhance regional connectivity, boost maritime trade and position Gwadar as a major hub in the Arabian Sea. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Pakistan has assumed the presidency of the United Nations Security Council for the current month. In a post on his X handle, the Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar said Pakistan's presidency comes at a time of escalating conflicts and humanitarian crises across the world. He said Pakistan will strive to steer the Security Council towards responsive and effective action grounded in dialogue, diplomacy, and peaceful dispute resolution. Isagdar said Pakistan looks forward to working with all the United Nations members to pursue inclusive, balanced, and action oriented outcomes. The Deputy Prime Minister said he will chair two high-level events on maintenance of international peace and security through multilateralism and peaceful settlement of disputes and cooperation between the United Nations and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation this month. Pakistan and India exchanged through diplomatic channels the lists of prisoners in each other's custody today. The government of Pakistan handed over a list of 246 Indian or believed to be Indian prisoners, including 53 civilian prisoners and 193 fishermen, to a representative of the Indian High Commission in Islamabad. Simultaneously, the government of India shared a list of 463 Pakistani or believed to be Pakistani prisoners, including 382 civilian prisoners and 81 fishermen, to a diplomat from the High Commission of Pakistan in New Delhi. Pakistan has called for immediate release and repatriation of all those Pakistani prisoners and fishermen who have completed their respective sentence and whose national status stands confirmed. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian troops, continuing their violent crackdowns, martyred 5 Kashmiris during the last month. According to a report released by the research section of the Kashmir Media Service, 2 of the victims were martyred in staged encounters. The occupation forces also arrested 45 civilians, mostly youth and political activists, under the black laws during cordon and search operations and house raids. The Modi regime further intensified its colonial tactics by seizing 19 residential and commercial properties belonging to Kashmiris. Meanwhile, restrictions have been intensified across the occupied territory under the pretext of security for the Amarnath Yatra. Turkey has evacuated more than 50,000 residents from 40 settlements in and around its western province of Izmir since the wildfires triggered by soaring temperatures broke out on Sunday. Turkey's Forestry Minister Ibrahim Yumashki told reporters that the blaze was fanned overnight by winds in Kuyuşak and Dugontpe areas of Izmir. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister Senator Ishaq have expressed deep sorrow and offered support to Turkey as the wildfires ravage Izmir province. In a post on his X handle, Prime Minister extended heartfelt sympathies to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the Turkish people, praying for swift control of the fires and minimal loss of life and property. Pakistan stands in full solidarity with the brave, resilient Turkish brothers and sisters and remains ready to offer any assistance needed in this hour of need. In his post on X, the Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Ishaq said he was deeply concerned by the disturbing news of the wildfires in Izmir, which had disrupted flight operations and affected the lives of thousands of people. He expressed the hope that the fire would be brought under control sooner without any more damage. At least 95 more Palestinians have been martyred by Israeli forces in Gaza. Israel's aggression on Gaza has martyred at least 56,500 people and wounded over 133,000 since October 2023. And now netball. Pakistan has qualified for the semi-finals of the Asian Youth Girls Netball Championship, defeating the Maldives by 49 to 39 points in its last group match in South Korea today. It was the 5th consecutive victory of the Pakistan team. Pakistan will play against Japan in the semi-finals of the championship on Thursday. And finally, the weather report. Hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind and thunder showers are expected at isolated places in Islamabad, Upper Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Kashmir. Few heavy falls may also occur during the forecast period. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.